On July 20th, 1966, my aircraft was shot down over North Vietnam. As I parachuted toward the ground, I could see soldiers coming toward me from every direction. Within minutes, I was captured. And I knew that my life would be changed forever. There were moments in that prison camp when I didn't know if I would live to see another day.
When my father was shot down, everything in our lives changed overnight. For a year and a half, we didn't know if he was alive or dead. And he was listed as missing in action but became a POW. But my mother never stopped believing he was coming home. She prayed every single day.
Those were difficult years for our family. We had to keep living our lives while not knowing if we would ever see our father again. But our faith carried us through. And even though we didn't know where he was, we believed God did.
The North Vietnamese wanted to break us. They wanted to take away our hope. But the one thing that they could never take away from us was our faith. There were days when prayer was the only thing that kept me going.
When I was first approached about telling Colonel Norm McDaniel's story, I felt deeply honored. What struck me most wasn't just the history, it was the faith, the perseverance, and the strength of his family. At Cornelius Smaller Productions, we believe in telling stories that matter, stories that remind people what courage and faith really look like. And when I heard Colonel Norm's story, I knew it was one that needed to be shared.
Stories like this don't come along very often. This isn't just a war story, it's a story about endurance, about faith under unimaginable pressure, and about a family that never stopped believing. When we heard Colonel Norm's story, we knew it had the power to inspire people everywhere.
When my husband finally came home, it felt like a miracle. It was the moment we had prayed for years.
When you support this film, you're doing more than helping produce a movie. You are helping preserve a legacy of faith. You are honoring families who waited, who prayed, and who refused to stop believing even when the world told them hope was gone. Colonel Norm McDaniel's story reminds us that faith can sustain us even in the darkest places. And in a time when families feel divided and hope can seem fragile, stories like this matter more than ever. We believe this story needs to be told, but we can't do it alone. Will you stand with us and help us bring this extraordinary story to the big screen?